Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Hi, my name is Pat or Patrick, doesn't really matter which, and you're listening to a new podcast of mine. Just started today. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. It has no name either. It probably will when I put it online, but as of right now, it does not. I'm thinking about something like the Boyish charm or something like that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But it's podcast about is about nothing really. Yeah, I don't have a goal in mind for it. I don't see what kind of future it has. It's just something I thought I would be interested in doing. About I don't know 4 years ago or so, I thought it would be a cool idea to do sorry, lost my train of thought. A YouTube channel, gaming YouTube channel, tutorials, things like that. The problem was I'm really bad at editing. I don't like to edit, which is a shame because I think it would be an interesting skill to learn if I just bothered to do it. So I put maybe 10 recordings up on my channel, and then I just kind of abandoned it for about a year and a half or 4 years, I mean. And then after 4 years' time, I went off to work somewhere across the country and came back, and I recorded maybe 2 to 3 more videos, and I just have not bothered to put them back up online. So they're just sitting there in my computer unedited. That's a funny word. Edited. And maybe I'll do it one day, maybe I won't. I don't know. But I thought to myself, might as well, since I'm bored and it is the coronavirus time, to make myself a podcast and just talk about nothing for about a half an hour or so. It is what is it, Saturday? No, Sunday. Sorry, it is Sunday the 11th, and at 2 o'clock. I'm recording this right now, and it is. I'm still on lockdown. It is my county where I'm at is on phase 2 of getting unlocked down, I guess you could say. Olive Garden, I think, is starting to let people back into their restaurants at, certain, not as many people as there was before, but enough people to, I guess, to have a restaurant full of people. But yeah, and I'm kind of sitting here. Fortunately, I've been able to keep my job. My job's been kind of just talking to people over the phone. So I have been. Don't worry, I'm not a telemarketer. Don't yell at me. But I've been able to just remote into my workstation from home, which is nice. So I can sit here on the weekends when there's nothing to do and talk to you guys and monitor my workstation. So if I kind of cut in and out, that's probably why I'm taking a few phone calls. Okay, so I still don't know what I'm going to do with this thing at all, or even what it's going to be called. But I guess we'll talk about something for right now. Let's see. Well, let's see what I have in my notes. Okay. So I do not have a hosting site yet. I'm just looking around for a few things. I don't even know if I'm going to keep doing this or not. This might be the first and last podcast I ever do. I don't know. But it's 4 minutes in. I might as well talk about something. It is. I don't know. Have you guys seen? Oh, I know what I'm going to talk about. Sorry. I know I slur my words a bit. I'm sorry. I know what I'm going to talk about. Have you guys seen that, or ladies, have seen the new rocket launch that was set up yesterday? The new, what was it? Crew Dragon launched. Oh, 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Anyway, I was going to say have you seen that new Crew Dragon being launched yesterday? I think it's pretty cool. I've never really been sorry, I've never really been too interested in space travel, but because I'm just kind of claustrophobic, I guess. But it sounds really interesting to me. This idea that we no longer need a whole country to launch a rocket anymore. We can do it by ourselves. Well, I mean, when I say by ourselves, I mean if we have a billionaire doing it, a billionaire can launch a rocket by himself now. Well, no, that's not true. I'm sorry, I'm lying. A billionaire can build a rocket. You still need NASA to launch it. But it's so really cool to watch it all go down. The technology they have I think, is really awesome. I especially like. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot the name of it. Not Crew Dragon. It's not the rocket that goes down. The booster rocket. They can reuse it and it lands itself, which I think is really awesome. And have you seen that thing? If I find it, I'll link a description to a video. But it lands vertically on a drone ship out in the middle of the water, and they just bring it back. And then when the Crew Dragon it comes back down to Earth, it splashes down like a normal, like the old Apollo missions, which I think is kind of weird. I don't know why they don't make it so it flies down vertically like the launching rocket does. I mean, maybe they will. It just seems like kind of a waste to have them to make a splashdown like an old Apollo thing. I'm sorry. This podcast is coming out to a really bad start, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe my second or third one will be better. I don't know. Anyway, I have to get up to go to work at around. Well, when I say go to work, I mean walk across the living room, turn on my computer. So I turned on my computer around 5 o'clock today. 5 o'clock in the morning. And they were. The Crew Dragon was in the middle of docking with the space station, the ISS, which stands for International. Wait, I totally blanked on what it's in for. International Space Station, I think. Anyway, so that took an incredibly long time. It took about, let's see, I started watching around 5, and it you could clearly see the space station from the pod, but it still took, I think, till almost until, I want to say 7 o'clock before it docked, and then it took another 2 hours almost before the astronauts left the pod. So I think it was like 10:30 before the astronauts finally climbed out and got into the space station. And then of course everybody cheered, and it was so all the senators were downstairs were in Houston, and they were congratulating the astronauts for a job well done, and how this marks this is a great turning point in our country, and blah 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 blah. Politicians speak. But it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I usually don't watch any stuff like that, but this was the first mission they did where it was a spacecraft built by a private company. I don't know. SpaceX, is it publicly traded or is it all privately owned? I'm not sure. I know that I think Tesla's publicly traded, but I'm not sure about SpaceX. I can't imagine SpaceX would make much money for their investors if it was. I mean, maybe in the next 10, 20 years, maybe, but not now, not at all. So they were talking about that, and they were also talking about the new, I can't remember the name of it anymore, but Boeing has their own little rocket that they're shooting up in space as well. And I think that's in the next few weeks, I want to say. So they're going to do that. Then they're going to send the SpaceX guys back down. Well, they're not the SpaceX rocket, but the astronauts are all NASA astronauts, with of course SpaceX gear on. So that's going to be interesting to watch. See, they keep talking about, oh, next year they're going to have let people do sorry. Next year they're going to allow people to have tours around the world. They're going to shoot people up into space, 8 people at a time maybe, and just circumnavigate the globe. I'm not sure how well that's going to work, especially at that time frame. Because remember, I don't know if you remember, oh my gosh, what is Richard Branson's company? It was Virgin Galactic. Yeah, they said they would do the exact same thing, right? And they've been working on this for years and years and years, and they still have not done it. I think they had a crash a couple years ago, and I don't even know if they're doing it anymore. I think they went into business, but they built themselves a entire spaceport out in New Mexico, and they we're gonna do all this cool stuff. And I don't know if it's being worked on at all, but I know that most people are talking about either SpaceX or Boeing. I believe that SpaceX is actually cheaper to run than Boeing's plane is going to be. But if I don't know, I don't know which company I would put my money on more, because at one point you have Boeing, which is a 150-year-old company by now, and they'll never go out of business, not for a long time. But then you have SpaceX, which is relatively new, but they're really more innovative, I think, than Boeing. So I don't know. Time will tell to see which one is a better course to bet on, or they might both help. I don't know. I want to see. They keep talking about how they are going to man a mission to Mars. SpaceX is going to do a mission to Mars and all this kind of stuff. And that's an interesting idea. Maybe eventually, but I don't think. And maybe in my lifetime, but I don't think for a while. And they keep talking about, in 2050 or in 2040 or even less than that. Maybe 2020 they're talking about. And I'm like, no way in 20 years are you going to be able to do that. Maybe 2050 you'll be able to do it, but not from now. They'll probably be able to do something on the moon, which that would be kind of cool. But in terms of, will I ever be able to afford to space travel? No, not at all. Even if I become a millionaire, I don't think I'll be able to. I mean, even if they make it cheaper, because that's one of the things that we were talking about during the launch. Is they were talking about how cheaper now everything's going to be, and it's going to revolutionize how it travels through space, kind of like how the plane revolutionized how we travel through air. But even if you make it so that you reuse a rocket all the time, you would still have to be a billionaire or a millionaire to fly. Because think about how much their rocket fuel costs. And they have to refuel that rocket every time, and there's only 8 people that can go up at a time, according to them. Unless they rebuild the capsule, and they make the capsule a lot bigger. That way their rocket's going to have to be bigger. And I don't know. But I think it would work better. I think Virgin Galactic had a better idea, I believe, where you would actually have a small ship that you would take off from a runway, and then the ship would then fly off into space. I think that would be a much better idea, because you're not. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist or a physicist, but I just think that it's easier to kind of fly vertically like that than it is to or fly horizontally like that than it is to fly vertically, where you have to overcome the tremendous forces of gravity. I mean, you still have to do that anyway by flying, like an airplane. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But airplanes can get up pretty high with just a turbine jet engine, whereas to get up into space you would need to fly vertically. You would need those super energy with those huge rockets they use. I mean, I could be totally wrong, and I probably am because I'm an idiot and I have a BA. So BS. Is it a BA or BS? I can't remember what I have anymore. See, and I shouldn't have gone to college. I should just quit and been done with it. I still have the same level of knowledge I have now. Just be a lot more. Wouldn't be as poor. Anyway, so after I watched that, I went and watched that new Steve Carell show. I don't know if you guys seen it yet. It's what is it called? It's called Space Rangers. No, sorry, Space Force, which is, and I totally thought the president was kidding when he made that Space Force. I think generally it's okay idea. Just sounds kind of weird, and clearly the people that made this show are not fans of this administration. I don't want to get it political, so I'm not gonna say who I agree with, but clearly they were not fans of this president or his what he was doing, and they made it. They all the jokes kind of reflected that. I've heard people say they didn't like the show. I thought a lot of the show was weird. I thought a lot of the show was quirky in kind of a bad way. Like there's a lot of really funny jokes, but some of the jokes didn't hit very well at all. And some of the jokes were just kind of stupid and went pretty long. You know, kind of like those jokes in the old Family Guy show where people used to watch Family Guy. And the jokes were just so drawn out. It was just uncomfortable after the first minute. And that's kind of what I felt watching the show. But it did leave me wanting to watch the next season. Do I think there's going to be next season? I have no idea. And because of this whole coronavirus thing, I have no idea. You know, there's a couple shows that I want to watch that are on the first season, and now I probably aren't going to be able to watch the second season for like 2 years or something because of this whole coronavirus thing, which is too bad. But yeah, in terms of space related stuff, I think we had a pretty good run. It'd be really interesting to watch. Like I said, I stayed up till 5 and watch them kind of do what they're saying until 10 o'clock, and then I went and did something else. And it would be interesting to watch them go back to Earth after 27 days. I think they said they're up there, 27 or 25. I can look it up right now, but I'm too lazy. But yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I've been talking for 20 minutes now, and I am kind of lost for words. I kind of want to talk about this all the YouTube drama going on. I'm not a YouTuber at all. I've watched a few YouTube. Like I said, I've done a few YouTube things when I was 4 years ago, but I've always been kind of an outsider looking in, and I've never really been too interested in YouTube drama at all. But I'm just been kind of fascinated lately with all these shit going on with these stupid people, and a lot of these people I don't think should be on YouTube, should not be influencers at all. Like this. Well, I'm not going to name names right now, but because these people are kind of notorious for going after people that say bad things about them. But just say that I don't know. YouTube's kind of an odd place, especially with all this stuff going on where YouTubers are attacking each other's sponsors. That's kind of I don't know. I want to toe the party line and say that's a good thing or that's a bad thing, but really, truly, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. If you're a bad actor, like a lot of these people are, their sponsors should be notified that you are a bad actor. And oh my God, none of you guys are watching this video, watching this anymore, are you? You just tuned out a long time ago, haven't you? Um, so yeah, that's something I kind of want to talk about is that. But since we are 21 minutes, so we have 10 minutes left. I don't know. What do I want to talk about? There's the thing with the Twitch. I don't know. I don't know if you've. I don't want to talk about it yet because I want to do more research on what the console really is. But if you don't know, there's a company called Twitch, right? Which is owned by Amazon. I'm sorry. Which is a company that, not Amazon. Twitch is a company that is kind of like YouTube, but they do live streaming instead of just record your little skits and show it on YouTube. So it's all live streaming. But I guess Twitch has decided they're going to their image isn't very good, so they hired some new they call them what is the name of it's like safety council or something, but it's basically a standards and practices council. And they hired all these people that are supposed to be experts in their field, including a couple streamers, which is a good idea because you have to have your you have to have the voice of the people that are using your product, right? But the problem is, I guess one of these streamers is a notorious for saying really weird things online. And I've seen her, and I've known about her, and a lot of her stuff's really hilarious. Well, no, I mean she's hilarious. I'm not her stuff. I think her jokes are kind of stupid, like my jokes are. But I kind of want to talk about this lady, but I don't want to give out false information, so I don't want to do it now. I'll do it in the next podcast if I have one. I don't know, probably come in the next week. But yeah, I mean, stuff's going crazy. This whole, I don't know, all this stuff around the world is going. I think people are just going insane now. They want to go back to work. I do too. I mean, yeah, I'm working, and I'm still making the same amount of money, and I'm actually making more money because I'm not spending money on gas or anything or fast food or anything like that. But I still want to go back to the office. I mean, I kind of miss the office and miss talking to people. I mean, there's so much stuff I could be doing, and as soon as I started being quarantined, I self quarantined. I'm sorry. There was so much stuff a whole list of stuff I needed to do, and I wanted to do it, and I have not gotten around to it. Not because I am too busy. It's because I'm too lazy. I look at the pile of paperwork I have to do and think, no, I don't want to do this right now. Might as well watch another YouTube channel or read a book. That's funny. Or watch some Roku or something. And then just have never gotten around to it. Now it's, it's been about 2 months now since this thing started. And I still have not done almost anything. I still have a bunch of crap on my dining room table that's been there since I moved into this place about a year ago. Still, that I need to get through. I have a whole bunch of stuff, piles and piles of stuff I want to give away to Goodwill. I just haven't not gotten around to it because they've been closed. So hopefully now in the next week or so they'll be open and I can get rid of all that stuff, and I can kind of start getting up and moving around, doing something. I've actually started to do some workout now at home. Sorry, which I don't know if that's gonna last. I hope it does. The last two places I've worked at, they've allowed you to use their gym for free. I just never done it, which is really too bad. So hopefully I'll be smart this time and keep up with my workout. I will hopefully keep up with this podcast unless you guys tell me to please God stop. And get rid of all this paperwork. But for now, I think I am going to have to sign off. Oh wait, I have 3 minutes, but that doesn't matter. I'll leave early. Anyway, I think I'm gonna sign off, and I am going to see you guys next week. Yes, next week. Have a good one.